And so once you were discharged from the service, did you jump back into recording right away, or was that something that took a little bit?
No, when I got out of the service, my father was in ill health, and so I just went back to the sawmill and told him, I said, you take off and go, you and Mama go fishing for 6 months or a year, and I'll run the sawmill. I'll take over and run the logwoods and the sawmill and all. But that was a big mistake I made, because
hard work on the sawmill, right?
Coming out of the Army, that was quite a change.
And so there was actually a point in your career after you had gotten back for a while that I remember you told me that you weren't making too much money off of the music business, and you and Maxine and Bonnie had actually decided to retire. So what changed your mind?
We never did make much money out of the music business, up until '59. But, well, the Three Bells was what changed our mind. When I got out of the service, which was in '58, I just went to the logwoods and the sawmill and all, and we didn't record or anything, for about a year and a half there. Then Chet called us and said he thought we ought to come in and record. So we did, and that's when we recorded the Three Bells in '59.
And how did you find the Three Bells?
Well, we had Bonnie did it in the high school as well as myself. We did it. I was in the high school choir, and she was too. And we just remembered the song from way back then, and well, it was just a song. We liked the story.
And the hits just kept coming after that. You had Scarlet Ribbons and The Old Lamplighter, but finally...
You Dream On, and You Can't Grow Peaches on a Cherry Tree, and yeah.
How many albums did you end up releasing with the Brown? Can you remember off the top of your head, Jim Ed?
Well, I've had like 56 albums released with me and the Browns and Helen Cornelius, so that's a total of all of them. I don't know how many was just with the Browns, or how many was just with me, or how many.
I think there was at least a dozen with the Browns, but I'm not sure exactly. But I'll have to go back and look that up. You stumped me.
I think it was more than that, but it doesn't matter. There was quite a few anyway.
You left quite a great recording catalog of close harmony work, but in '67, that's when Maxine and Bonnie decided to call it quits for good, wasn't it?
They retired in October of '67.
And as I mentioned, the Browns were known for the close harmony singing. So did you worry about how your solo records would go over, since your new recordings would no longer feature the signature family harmony of the Browns?
Sure. Anybody would worry about that, because, you've always had them there to lean on, and all of a sudden you don't have a leaning post. And yeah, you worry about those things. And I did too, until Papa Top came along, and then that changed a lot of things.
Well, I was going to say, I guess you didn't have to worry long, because Papa Top came along, and that became sort of your signature song. That's what you used to open up your shows at the Opry, correct?
It's still kind of my signature song, I guess.
And that was written by Nat Stuckey, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
So was it Chet, who, as we mentioned, Chet Atkins earlier, in addition to being the guitar player, for those that don't know, listening out there, he was also the A&R man for many years at RCA Records.
He was a producer at RCA, yeah.
And so did he find Papa Top for you, or how did you come to find that song?
Well, Nat Stuckey wrote and sent it to Chet to listen to, and Chet let me listen to it, and I found it. I thought that it was a hit song, but I said, I don't think that Nat's got the hit on it. But anyway, I took Felton Jarvis, and we went down into Studio B, and we recorded it. And of course, what you hear on the record that's what we come up with, which was very good.
I'd have to agree, and some folks don't know, but I believe that you had said that you used a can of Dr. Pepper, correct, to make the bottle flip sound?
Yeah, it was a can of Dr. Pepper. Yeah, that was back whenever they were just getting the lift ring pull open type cans.
So was Dr. Pepper just what you had on hand, or did you actually analyze what sound was the best from different soda cans popping over?
That's just what we went and got. We went down to a little store right down the street and picked them up and brought them back to the studio.
So how did you, because you I mean, as anyone can imagine, you don't carry around cans of Dr. Pepper for during your show, and we played this song earlier, but it happens several times in the song. So when did you first create the signature move that you do with your mouth? You
do it well.
Well, thank you. I've had a lot of practice, listened to you for many years, and you've been a very nice mentor to me since I've known you. So I appreciate it. That's whenever I some might know listening, I'm a country music performer too, and I always do that song when I go out and sing. And
Oh, that's great.
it goes over quite well. People remember it. And
Good
so,
party song, isn't it, Paul?
yes, it's very fun. You know, everybody has their round of drinks and drink along. What do they say down at Tootsie's? A holler and a swaller or something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
I haven't been down there in a long time. It's been a few years since I've been down to Nashville. But we're going to talk
about... come back.
Well, hopefully sometime this year I'll be back down now that I'm feeling better health-wise and everything. But it was rough for a couple of years. But looking on to the future now.
Well, we'll welcome you back whenever you come.
Well, I appreciate it, and some also might know that after Vince Gill had me as a surprise guest on the Opry, you were very kind to me and invited me to come over to the Ernest Tubb record shop and sing a song just on the fly. We hadn't practiced it with the band or anything, and you sang harmony vocals with me, and if I remember correct, we did Heartaches by the Number, and yeah. I have it. David McCormick sent me a recording of that, so I have it at home, and it's
great.
It's something I treasure very much. So
David McCormick is the owner of the Ernest Tubb record shop, and he has owned that for many years, and he does a great job of keeping it going, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does, and
flying the records that people want and request and all.
Yeah, because the Ernest Tubb record shop is really the only place that keeps a consistent catalog of country music in general, gospel, bluegrass, but especially traditional country music, which can be hard to find even online. So you have quite a number. We might as well mention this now, but you have quite a number of recordings that are available to purchase, and pretty much all of them that are out on CD can be found at the Ernest Tubb record shop. So if anyone wants to go on to etrecordshop.com, they can purchase them there, but they can also buy them through your website, correct, Jim?
Yeah, JimEdBrown.com.
And they can exclusively get your new single there, which we heard earlier, In Style Again, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's where they can get an autographed copy from your website, correct? Jim Ed, is that where they can get an autographed copy?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I thought we lost you there for a second with the phone line. No, that's totally all right. And right now, I guess, is probably as good a time as any, because you certainly had a number of solo hits, Southern Lovin', Morning, and you could probably name off another half a dozen for me. And Heartache Killer, was that a single? I really loved that song.
One More Round of Heartache Killer?
Yeah, exactly.
That was in the album.
Yeah, Barrooms and Papa Tops.
Barrooms and Papa Tops, it was. And
my favorite one from that album is Drinking Again. The piano is lonely.
Oh, got it. Paul, I get the feeling that you have a drink every once in a while.
No, I don't drink at all, actually. But it's been in my blood, the Jim Ed Brown music. My father will probably kill me for telling this, but when he was just dating my mother, he used to go over and stay over at her house. She was still living with her parents. And my grandfather, he's the one that taught me how to play the guitar and sing. And
really?
He's passed on now, but I learned it all from him. And he used to get up real early in the morning because he worked on the tank farms, so Saturday morning he'd still get up at 4:30. And so he'd come downstairs, and what would be playing every Saturday morning but an 8-track of Jim Ed Brown's greatest hits.
Hooray for him.
Yeah, exactly. So my father was educated well. He used to wake up in the morning hearing Papa Top, and I think my grandfather was popping a few right along with it. And so it's been in my blood, so that's how I know it. But